My child, stop what you are doing and listen. Tonight is not like every other night. Heaven is leaning close, and I am speaking directly to you. This will happen in your house tonight. Yes, in the very place where you have cried, prayed, and waited, I am about to move. The walls that have heard your sorrow will now witness your restoration. The silence that has lingered will soon echo with my presence. Do not dismiss these words as ordinary, for what I am about to do will mark your home forever. Be still and listen, for this is holy ground. Listen, my beloved. Before the shadows stretch across the earth and night fully covers your dwelling, I am already there. The world grows still, but in the silence, I move. You may not see me walk through your doors, yet I am in the soft flicker of the lamp, in the quiet hum of your breathing, in the unseen warmth that suddenly fills the room. I have watched every moment of this day, every thought you kept to yourself, every sigh you released when no one could hear. I have seen the weariness behind your eyes, the questions that linger when the lights go out, and the ache that words cannot express. And I tell you now, I have drawn near because I cannot stay distant when your heart whispers my name in longing. Tonight, I come not with thunder or trembling earth, but with a whisper, because I want you to feel me, not fear me. I have heard the cry you didn't speak aloud, that deep, quiet plea for something to change, for peace to return, for hope to rise again. You thought it was too small to reach my throne, but every unspoken prayer is a seed that reaches me in ways you cannot imagine. I saw when you stood in your kitchen with tears you didn't explain, when you sat in your car and stared ahead, wondering if anyone truly understood what you carry. I was there. I still am. I have not forgotten you, nor have I been silent out of indifference. My silence was not absence, it was preparation. For tonight, I am moving in your home in ways that will shift the unseen. The night is sacred, my child. It is in the night that I speak most clearly, because the noise of the world fades and your heart finally quiets enough to hear. Tonight, I am speaking not to your ears but to your spirit. The fear that lingers, the heaviness that won't lift, the disappointment that steals your sleep. I am touching all of it. Even now, as you read these words, my spirit surrounds you. Feel the change in the air. It is not your imagination. Heaven is leaning close. I am setting the stage for something holy. You may not understand everything that unfolds tonight, but trust me, I am beginning a work that will not stop until your household is transformed. Do not rush into the night with worry. Sit with me. Let the stillness become sacred. For when the sun rises again, you will know this night was different. You will say, something happened in my house, and it was God. For I have come, and I am here, and this very moment, is the beginning of your miracle. Can you feel it, my beloved? The air around you is shifting. What seems like stillness is alive with my movement. Heaven is nearer to your home than you realize. Even now, while you sit wondering what will unfold, angels are taking their positions, not in some distant realm, but around your dwelling, round those you love, round the very foundation of your household. I have commanded them to stand guard, for this night will not belong to darkness. You have prayed for breakthrough, and though you thought nothing changed, the unseen world began to tremble at your whisper. Every tear that has fallen, every prayer that felt unheard, hath been stored before me like incense. And tonight, I am responding. There is a divine stirring in your atmosphere, a holy shift, not of chaos, but of my presence settling upon what belongs to you. You have fought battles no one else saw, endured storms that left invisible wounds, but hear me, those battles are drawing to an end. I am not far from you, I am within the very air you breathe. The tension you feel is not confusion, it is transition. Heaven is pressing close to earth in your home. Even creation responds to me. Walls that once echoed with heaviness will now carry peace. The rooms that felt cold with distance will warm again, not by temperature, but by love restored. The enemy has tried to convince you that your prayers were powerless, but I tell you, every word you have ever spoken in faith has shaped this moment. Your faith has built an altar, and tonight I will meet you upon it. You will sense my nearness in simple ways, the quiet calm that falls suddenly, the wave of emotion that comes from nowhere, the unexplainable sense that you are not alone. That is not imagination, it is visitation. My spirit moves softly, but powerfully, bringing divine order where confusion once reigned. The stirring you sense is not to frighten you, it is my announcement that something sacred is about to begin. Every force that stood against peace in your home is now trembling, for my light has entered and darkness cannot remain. I am preparing the soil of your heart for what I am about to plant. Seeds of joy, restoration, and blessing that will grow and fill your house with new life. So do not be afraid of the change you feel tonight. Lean into it. Whisper my name and watch how quickly peace returns. I am here, reshaping the unseen, turning the ordinary atmosphere of your home into holy ground. The stirring you sense is heaven waking your spirit to recognize that this night, this very night, has been chosen by me to shift your story forever. I stand at your door tonight, not the wooden one the world sees, but the door of your heart, and I knock. Do you hear it? It's not loud, but it's persistent. I do not force entry, I wait for your invitation. You have felt me calling in subtle moments, in the ache you can't explain, in the longing for peace that won't fade. That's me. I have waited patiently through your silence, through your doubt, through your distractions. I have never turned away. I am here again, knocking softly, ready to fill every corner of your being with the warmth of my presence. If you open your heart to me tonight, not just your lips or your mind, but the deep, unguarded places within you, I will come in. And I will not merely visit, I will dwell. You may think your heart is too cluttered for me, too weary, too fractured, but I am not intimidated by brokenness. The cracks you try to hide are the very places my light longs to enter. I do not come to judge or to shame you. I come to restore you to peace. I have heard the voices that told you you're not enough, that you strayed too far, that I've forgotten you. Those are lies, whispered to keep the door shut. But tonight, I am closer than your breath, gently reminding you, nothing you've done has disqualified you from my love. I died to remove the distance, and tonight, I live to close the gap between us. When you open to me, everything changes. The fear that once held power will crumble. The bitterness that took root will wither. My love will enter like a flood, washing away the residue of years of striving and disappointment. You will not need to perform for me. Just be still and let me be God in your life again. I do not want your perfection. I want your permission. Open the door, and I will fill your home with a peace that will outlast the night. Even now, I stand waiting, not with impatience, but with eternal love. I have chosen this night to meet you where you are, to dwell in what you call ordinary and make it holy. The moment you say yes, everything shifts. I will enter, and I will stay. This is my promise to you. From this moment forward, your home will not only be your dwelling, it will be mine. Do you feel the air changing, my beloved? It is not your imagination. I am cleansing the atmosphere around you. What once felt heavy is lifting because my light is sweeping through your home. I am driving out what has lingered too long, the tension, the bitterness. the unseen weight that seemed to settle no matter how hard you tried to shake it off. Every dark whisper that said, "Nothing will ever change," is being silenced. My presence purifies. Where I dwell, darkness cannot remain. Tonight, I am not only visiting your home, I am cleansing it, preparing it to become a sanctuary of peace. There have been words spoken within these walls that wounded, fears that hung in the air like a shadow, memories that replayed until hope grew dim. But no more. My light penetrates what you cannot reach. I am moving through the unseen corners of your heart and house alike. The enemy thought he had a place to rest here, but I am reclaiming every inch. I am sweeping through your mind, lifting thoughts that weighed you down, and replacing them with the assurance of my love. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in creation now hovers over your home, bringing divine order from chaos. You may feel waves of emotion tonight, as if something deep within is being stirred. Let it happen. That is my cleansing power at work. I am not tearing down to harm. I am making room for healing. Every word of defeat you once believed is being erased. Every presence that brought confusion is being cast out. This night, your home becomes my altar again, a place where peace, joy, and faith will reign. You will notice it in the days to come. The heaviness will not return. The atmosphere will feel lighter, prayer will flow easier, and rest will come without battle. That is the evidence of my cleansing touch. I am even cleansing the spiritual inheritance of your home. The residue of old pain, old conflicts, and old wounds. I am washing it away. You will wake in the morning and feel different, even if you cannot explain why. That is my peace settling, my order restoring, my love rebuilding what was once broken. This is not temporary. It is transformation. I am breathing new air into your space, new life into your soul, and new hope into your tomorrow. Let every breath you take tonight remind you, your house is now filled with my presence, and where I abide, no darkness can dwell. You feel it, my beloved. The quiet stirring within you that you can't quite explain, that's me touching the hidden places of the heart. I am moving through the walls of your home and the walls of your soul at the same time, softening what life has hardened. The words that hurt you, the disappointments that made you build defenses, the silence that grew between those you love. I am healing it all tonight. My love moves like a gentle flame, melting what bitterness once froze. You've tried to fix things by yourself, tried to reason, to force peace where it would not stay. But peace is not born of effort. It flows from me. Tonight, I am not asking you to strive. I am asking you to yield. Let me do the hard work only I can do. You have prayed for reconciliation, but perhaps you thought it impossible. Some wounds seem too deep, some people too distant. But I tell you, nothing is beyond my reach. I am walking into conversations you have not yet had, into hearts that have been closed for years. I am softening the stubborn, humbling the proud, and stirring compassion where coldness once lived. You may not see it all tonight, but my spirit is planting something invisible, seeds of tenderness that will grow in the coming days. The hard words will begin to fade from memory. The old resentment will lose its sting, and where there was silence, there will come understanding. Even as you rest, I am whispering to hearts you love, to that spouse who has felt far away, to that child who has drifted, to that friend whose words cut deep. I am breaking the chain of distance that pride forged. You will wake and find the atmosphere of your home lighter, softer, warmer, because I have breathed grace into it. The same power that healed the hardened heart of Saul now moves through your household, turning tension into tenderness, resistance into restoration. Do not underestimate what I can do in a single night. I am teaching you again what love truly is, not a feeling that fades, but a choice empowered by my Spirit. Love that endures, that forgives, that listens. That kind of love is forming in you now. The cracks that once divided will become the channels where my love flows freely. This is my promise. Where you allow me to soften your heart, I will do the same in others. And soon, your home will no longer echo with unspoken pain but with laughter, grace, and peace that cannot be shaken. My child, the storm has raged long enough. Tonight, I speak to the winds that have howled in your soul. Be still. You have tried to create peace through control, through reasoning, through holding everything together by your own strength. But peace cannot be earned or arranged. It can only be received. I am the Prince of Peace, and I am walking through the rooms of your home right now, calming the atmosphere as I once calmed the sea. You've grown used to tension, to waiting for the next wave to crash, but that season ends tonight. I am restoring peace not only around you, but within you. You have fought battles that drained your spirit, but I am lifting the weight you were never meant to carry. That argument replaying in your mind, let it go. That guilt that whispers in the quiet, I am silencing it. The peace I give is not fragile. It is eternal, born from my presence. You will begin to notice the change. The air feels lighter, your heart beats steadier, your thoughts quieter. This is what happens when I take my rightful place in your home. I am not simply visiting, I am reigning. There were nights you lay awake replaying everything you couldn't fix, every word you wish you could take back. I was there beside you then, watching your tears, waiting for you to stop striving long enough to let me speak. And what I say now is simple. It is finished. The unrest that tormented your heart is losing its hold because I am speaking peace into every space of your life. My peace is a covering, a shield, a song. When fear knocks, it will find no doorway open. When anxiety rises, it will meet the wall of my word. You will find yourself smiling again, not because everything is perfect, but because my peace has become your foundation. Even the sounds of your home will change, laughter where there was argument, rest where there was tension, gentleness where there was sharpness. I am not just giving you peace. I am restoring the peace that was stolen. And from this night forward, peace will no longer be something you chase. It will be something that abides. I am your peace, and I will not leave you. Do you remember when you used to believe easily? When prayer felt alive and my word burned in your heart like fire? I remember, and I never forgot. Tonight, I am reigniting that flame. The faith that once flickered beneath, the weight of disappointment is being reborn within you. You thought the silence meant I was far away, but silence was the soil where your faith was being tested, strengthened, purified. Now, I breathe upon those embers, and they come alive again. You are not who you were when doubt entered. You are stronger, wiser, ready to believe again, not because everything makes sense, but because you have seen what happens when I move in the impossible. I am awakening the faith that sleeps within your home. The prayers you stopped praying because you grew tired of waiting, pray them again. The dreams you shelved because they seemed too broken, dust them off. I have not forgotten one word spoken in faith, and I am about to fulfill promises you thought were lost. You will feel a new stirring in your spirit, a holy boldness to believe again. That is me. I am restoring not just faith in me, but faith in yourself, faith in others, faith in what I have called you to be. As your faith rises, so will the atmosphere of your house. The heaviness will break, and hope will fill its place. I am turning fear into fuel for your prayers, doubt into the doorway of deeper trust. You will begin to hear me again, not as a distant echo, but as a familiar voice that walks with you in every moment. My word will open to you like a fresh spring, and joy will flow where dryness once reigned. You thought your faith had died, but faith cannot die. It only sleeps. And tonight, I say as I said to the child in Mark's Gospel, rise. Faith, arise within my beloved. Hope, waken again. I am here, not as a memory or a feeling, but as your living God, breathing new life into every corner of your spirit. This is not the end of your story. It is the renewal of your beginning. From this night forward, faith will no longer be something you reach for. It will live in you, burning brighter than ever before. There is a healing taking place in you right now, not where others can see, but deep where the wounds lie. I see the places you've learned to hide, the memories you've covered with smiles, the nights you turned away so no one would notice your tears. But I have always noticed. Every silent ache, every unseen scar, every weight that you've carried so long you've forgotten what it feels like to be free. I am touching them tonight. You thought healing meant reliving the pain, but it is not so. Healing in my presence means release. I am not here to make you remember. I am here to make you whole. The wounds that life carved into your spirit, betrayal, loss, rejection, guilt, I am moving through each one like a river washing away debris. My presence moves softly, quietly, but it never leaves anything unchanged. You have prayed, Lord, just help me get through. But I am doing more than helping you survive. I am restoring what was lost. I am mending what you thought could never be repaired. I am bringing light into the darkest chambers of your heart, not to expose you, but to lift the burden that has clung to you like shadow. You don't have to fight this healing. You only need to let it happen. Let my peace go where your words cannot. Let my spirit reach what your hands cannot touch. You may feel weight lift suddenly, or a calm come upon you. That is me. I am healing the tiredness behind your strength, the loneliness behind your laughter, the doubt behind your faith. Even now, I am removing the residue of old pain, pain from your past that whispered lies about your worth. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being rebuilt with glory. The places where you were wounded will become the very places where my light shines through. I am turning pain into testimony, fear into faith, wounds into worship. Healing is not coming tomorrow. It is happening tonight. I am writing your story from within, sealing every crack with my love. And when morning comes, you will not be the same, for healing has begun in the hidden places, and wholeness is rising where you thought only hurt could live. There are chains that did not begin with you, burdens, patterns, fears, and cycles that have passed through generations like invisible rivers shaping your family's story. But tonight, I am stepping into that story. The patterns that once ruled your bloodline end here. The spirit of anxiety, addiction, anger, or lack that haunted your family will not pass through you. I have heard your prayers for change, your cries to be different, to leave a new legacy. And now I am answering. You are not just being healed for yourself. You are being healed for those who will come after you. You are the turning point. You are the place where the old line breaks and a new line begins. Every curse that spoke against your peace, every cycle that repeated through generations, loses its authority now. The power that raised me from death is greater than anything that has bound your name. You are not bound by what your parents carried, nor will your children inherit what broke you. I am cutting the cords that have held your family captive, bitterness, fear, division, shame, and I am replacing them with blessing, unity, and strength. You will see the evidence not only in your heart, but in your home. The words spoken will shift, the atmosphere will change, and love will flow freely again. You may have believed that you were cursed to repeat history, but I say this: you are chosen to rewrite it. You will look back one day and see that what once was pain became purpose. Your home will be the proof of my deliverance, laughter where there was silence, abundance where there was lack, light where there was despair. I am lifting your name out of the dust and clothing it in grace. Your story will no longer be marked by what was lost, but by what was redeemed. You are standing on the threshold of a new generational story, one written not by the weight of the past but by the promise of my future. And tonight, yes, this very night, the chains break and freedom begins. There has been confusion in your mind, a fog that would not lift, questions that seem to circle without end. Why this path? Why this delay? What is my purpose? Tonight, that fog clears. I am turning the light of revelation upon your steps. You have looked for meaning in the noise of life, but purpose is not found in striving. It is revealed in surrender. I have not forgotten what I spoke over you long ago. The dreams that felt abandoned are not dead. They were waiting for my timing. Every closed door was not rejection but redirection. Every delay was not denial but preparation. I have been shaping you quietly, strengthening your spirit for what is ahead. You thought I was distant when I was silent, but silence is often the space where I whisper direction. Now, I am illuminating what was hidden. You will understand why certain things had to fall apart before they could align. You will see that the detours were divine. Every skill, every struggle, every scar, they were all preparing you for the very thing I am now calling you into. The purpose over your life is awakening. I am stirring fresh passion within you, reminding you that your life carries weight, that your voice matters, that your obedience shifts atmospheres. Do not fear the next step. I will go before you. The path may not be easy, but it will be clear. I am placing clarity in your spirit, vision in your heart, and strength in your hands. You will begin to see with new eyes, not what you've lost, but what is still possible with me. Your purpose is not something you chase. It is something you walk in, day by day, hand in hand with me. And as you move forward, others will find light in your steps, for you will carry illumination wherever you go. The night marks not just revelation, but activation. The night that once hid confusion now reveals destiny. I am calling you forward, not to wonder who you are, but to walk fully in who I created you to be. Listen closely, beloved. Joy is coming back to your house. Not the shallow joy that fades when circumstances shift, but the deep, unshakable joy that flows from my spirit within you. You have carried sorrow like a silent companion, worn smiles that hid your heaviness, and walked through days that felt colorless. But tonight, I pour joy into your heart like fresh oil. It will not come as a sudden burst that disappears. It will rise slowly, steadily, like dawn overtaking night. Every shadow that once sat upon your shoulders will begin to lift, and you will breathe differently, lighter, freer, alive again. My joy does not depend on what surrounds you. It is born from my presence that abides in you. Where grief has lingered, laughter will return. Where despair has sat, hope will take root. You will find yourself smiling for no reason, humming softly in the quiet, feeling peace even when things are not perfect, because joy has made its home in you again. I know the years when joy felt far away. I saw the moments you laughed among others, but cried alone afterward. I counted the nights you whispered, "I miss who I used to be." But hear me, I am restoring the joy that life tried to steal. Every disappointment, every broken promise, every season that drained you has been preparing the soil for a greater joy than you've ever known. It will not just heal what was lost. It will overflow beyond what you expected. This joy is not a feeling, It is strength. It is your ability to rise when you could have stayed down, to sing when silence would have been easier, to love when bitterness could have taken root. I am filling you with that kind of joy. You will see it spilled into your home, in your laughter, in your children's voices, in the peace that hovers in every corner. The heaviness that once lived here will not return, because joy will guard the threshold. And where there is joy, darkness cannot stay. So do not resist what you feel stirring even now. Let it rise. It is not too good to be true. It is my promise fulfilled. Joy is being poured out over you, and nothing will stop its flow. Even before you speak, my presence fills the air around you. You cannot see it, but you will feel it. Tonight, I leave a mark upon your home, not a visible sign, but an eternal imprint. The very walls will carry the fragrance of peace. The rooms where you once wept will now echo with stillness and safety. People who walk through your door will pause, sensing something they cannot explain, something weightless yet powerful, that is the mark of my presence. I do not come to visit and then depart. I come to dwell. When I rest upon a place, everything within it aligns with heaven's order. Arguments lose their power, fear loses its voice, and confusion cannot remain. My presence carries authority, and when it rests upon you, all that opposes it must bow. You have prayed for me to show up. I never left. You have looked for signs and wonders, but my greatest wonder is peace that remains even when storms rage outside. You will find that you no longer need proof of my nearness, because you will feel it like warmth surrounding you. When you sit quietly, you will know. When you pray, you will sense it. When you rest, it will cradle you. My presence will not only fill your house, it will cling to you. Wherever you go, the atmosphere will change because of what you carry. The same spirit that hovered over creation now hovers over your life. You are married, and I tell you this, others will see it. They won't know how to explain it, but they will recognize that you've been with me. You won't need to convince anyone. My presence will testify for you. The peace, the glow, the quiet confidence, all of it will reveal that heaven rests upon your life. You will walk into places burdened with heaviness and bring light with you. That is the mark I leave, unshakable peace, radiant joy, and divine favor that follows wherever you go. My presence is not visiting you tonight. It is claiming you. You are now the dwelling place of my peace, the carrier of my light, the living evidence that I have been here. And now, beloved, as the first light of dawn begins to break, everything shifts. The night is over. The weeping that endured for a season is giving way to joy that cannot be contained. You have walked through valleys, endured tests, survived storms, but this is not the end of your story. This is the threshold of a new season. I have been working in silence, weaving purpose into every delay, every detour, every disappointment. You thought I was absent, but I was building you for what comes next. The season that begins now will not look like the one before it. The ground that was barren will bloom. The prayers that seemed unanswered will come alive with clarity. You will understand why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain seasons ended. I was protecting what I was preparing. This new season will carry peace that endures, faith that cannot be shaken, and blessings that flow naturally, not from striving, but from rest. You will not have to chase what I have already appointed to find you. You will see divine alignment where there was once confusion. What was lost will be restored, not in fragments but in fullness. I am making all things new, not just around you, but within you. The bitterness will fade, the weight will lift, the vision will return. And as the morning light fills your home, It will fill your soul with the certainty that something holy has begun. You'll not look back with regret. What is ahead is far greater. You are crossing into a season of abundance, not merely of things, but of peace, revelation, and love. The same hands that carried you through the night now open the door to a new beginning. This day will not be ordinary. It will be sacred. You will sense it from the moment you rise. The air will feel different, lighter, live with promise. For this is the dawn of your new season, and I am walking with you into it. The past is finished. The night has lifted, and a new chapter begins, one written not with fear, but with glory. Amen.